Welcome to the debate room. Osama Zaid is here. Tonight, we bring you a complete, unfiltered look at the unfolding triangle of tension between Gaza, Iran, and the United States. This isn't just another geopolitical rivalry. It's a crisis shaping the future of Middle East and shaking the continents of the world. Let's start with Gaza because that's where the human cost in the highest since the outbreak of the conflict last year. Gaza has turned into a war zone, a graveyard, and a humanitarian nightmare. Entire neighborhoods have been flattened. More than 30,000 people have lost their lives, many of them children. Hundreds of thousands displaced, hospitals bombed, schools turned into the rubble, and aimed all of this the world watched, some in silence, others with statements that don't go beyond paper. What's happening in Gaza is not just a conflict, it's a collective punishment, it's a siege, it's a question what is the value of Palestinian life in the eyes of global powers. And Israeli claims it's targeting Hamas, but the level of destruction suggests something far beyond military objectives. The blockades, no aid, the restriction of water and electricity, and the targeting of medical workers all point to a deeper strategy of execution. And yet, Gaza still resistance, not because it has weapons, but because it has no choice. Now let's move to Iran, a country often painted as the villain in his story, and Iran has long positioned itself as the supporter of Palestinian resistance. Its influence reaches across the region, from Hezbollah in Lebanon to militants in Iraq, Syria, and Houthis in Yemen. Many call this Shia crescent. Iran called its a strategic depth. Tehran leadership has warned that continuous aggression in Gaza could ignite a regional war, and they have blocked in with action, missile strike, naval warnings, and threats against Israeli and the United States assist in the region. But there, completely, while Iran condemns Israeli action and supports resistance groups, it also plays a dangerous game of fueling proxy wars and indirectly escalating tensions. Is Iran defending the oppressed or expanding its own reach under the banner of justice? This is where we must ask, is in Iran regional stabilizer for Muslim voices, or is it a power playing hiding behind moral slogans? The answer perhaps is both. And now, the most powerful player is in this triangle, the United States of America. The US claimed to be a champion of democracy and human rights, yet it remains Israeli strongest ally, providing billions in military aid, advanced weapons, and unwavering political support. Every Israeli airstrike is backed by American silence or words approval. And at the same time, the US resist, sends humanitarian aid to Gaza, and asks Israel to minimize civilian casualties. In it's a contradiction of you cannot sponsor the bullets and the bandages of the wounds. Why does the US continues to support Israel so strongly? Is it about shared values or shared interests? Is it about protecting democracy or maintaining dominance in the Middle East? Now, and when it comes to Iran, the American approach is clearly hypocritical. The US calls out Iran for supporting militant groups, yet overlook its own role in destabilizing Iran, Syria, and beyond. This double standard is not just frustrating, it's dangerous. It's what fuels extremism, it's what makes the oppressed feel abandoned, and it's what prevents real peace from taking root. So, what does this all mean? It's mean all that Gaza is suffering not just because of bombs but because of politics. It's mean Iran is rising not just out of ideology but out of opportunity, and it's mean America is failing from the moral high ground it once claimed. And this triangle, Gaza, Iran, America, is a cycle of conflict, power, and pain. It's a war of narratives as much as it is a war of weapons. And in the Middle East of it all are people's, families, children, innocent civilians trapped between agendas. And we close tonight report. I leave you with this question: if this was happening anywhere else with any other people, would the world react the same way, or is it the identify of the victim that determines the urgency of justice? This is not just a Middle Eastern issues. It's a test of global conscience. It's a question for whether of we stand for human rights universally or only when is it suits our political situation. I am Usama Said. This was Debate Room. No spin, no script, just the truth as raw as it is. Until next time, stay aware, stay awake, and never be afraid to speak when silence becomes a crime. Signing off.